Okay, I'm Coach Janine. I am the owner of Dreamcatcher, and I am a business and career coach. My background's in psychology. I'm a retired Marine, so my style's a little bit different than some other people's, which, we all need different styles. We all respond to different styles. We are here for this morning blab, morning Moto motivation to get inspired and moving some stuff around. And that's why I'm here. I read a quick passage from Joel Osteen, and then we discuss a topic and get motivated, energized, in the right frame of mind to start our day, to have a great day. Hey, Dana, good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you're with us. So I'm just going to read this quick from Joel Osteen again, because everybody, that's part of what I do in the morning at this time of the day. So I decided that was going to be part of my blab. And, I have noticed since, I changed some of my features or the selections, some people I think are already blab addicts. They are on blab constantly. And honestly, I don't know. Stu the Almighty, welcome. And I don't know how they get any work done. So whether it's Periscope, Blab, Facebook, any of these, you've got to have some boundaries, some personal boundaries. And that's what we're going to get into this morning with the Road to Success, Adopt the 3 L's. So quick drink of coffee here. Because actually I slept in this morning. You woke up this morning, Dana. I'm glad you woke up. I woke up too. I woke up several times during the night. I'm in North Carolina, and we are getting, I swear to God, it is time to build the ark. I just saw somebody post on Facebook, tropical depression coming in. We've had rain since maybe Thursday or Friday. If you go out in my backyard, literally, it's like water is standing. A lot of the areas are flooded, and it's like, gosh, you hate to complain, and I've got all these flies coming out into the house, and it's like, this is nasty. I don't like flies, so I'm complaining, and I don't want to start the morning off complaining. I'll be thankful for the rain, but when I start building the ark, I'll let y'all know that I need some help building the ark, and we need to get ready. So I'm going to just read real quick, and then we'll jump on board. And again, I've got seats here. I love having y'all jump on board and share. And if you don't want to share because you're listening and getting ready, then just type in the chat window. You can, do the little question thing. Over to the left, you got the tell a little bird. Tell the little bird we're chirping away here this morning. We're tweeting, we're singing, we're doing our thing. If you jump in a seat, and we tell a little bird, your photo goes on out too. So that's a way to market if you're a business owner. And when I save the recording over on YouTube and share it over on Pinterest, the people that have been in the seats are on that cover with me. So welcome everyone. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I'm going to jump in here. I'm kind of checking my phone. Sometimes my clients are like, I can't get on. So I kind of keep my phone handy, and so let's just jump right on in. I'm going to, again, do this short reading. It's only 2 pages this morning, and then we'll discuss it. And then I want to jump into, I pulled off one of my old articles that I've used and created, and I just think it's a good topic also to help us with the mindset. So you're on God's mind. Now that you belong to Christ, you are the true children of Abraham. You are his heirs, and God's promises to Abraham belong to you. And that's Galatians 3:29. You may have some things you wish you could change about yourself, but rather than focus on those areas, take what God has given you and make the most of it. You are valuable to God. I heard somebody put it like this: if God had a refrigerator, your picture would be on it. If God carried a wallet, your photo would be in it. You're on his mind. And you may say, Joel, I haven't gotten a good break in life. My parents struggled with these same problems. I think it's my lot in life. I think we've all heard that phrase. It's just my lot in life. No, your lot in life is to be a victor and not a victim. I'm going to repeat that. Your lot in life is to be a victor, not a victim. Your lot in life is to be happy, healthy, and whole. Sure, you may have some things to overcome in that natural bloodline, but your spiritual bloodline looks very good. Your father spoke the world into existence. He could have chosen anybody for this time and place, but he chose you. He equipped you and approved you. And I love that scripture says, if we belong to Christ, we are Abram's seed and heirs according to the promise. That means we can all experience the blessings of Abram. If you study Abraham's record, you'll discover that he was prosperous, healthy, and lived a long, productive life. Even though he didn't always make the best choices, he enjoyed God's blessings and favor. No matter how many mistakes you've made, you need to know that on the inside, you have the seed of Almighty God. Your attitude should be, I may have a lot to overcome. People may have tried to push me down. Maybe I didn't get the best breaks, but that does not change who I am. I just see changing your surroundings helps too. Yes, and I'm just going to stop right there real quick. I'm not finished with it, but even if you don't follow the Christian faith, a lot of what Joel Osteen says is just, and I was not big, I was raised Catholic, but I was away from the church for 32 years, but I've always read Joel Osteen because it just makes sense to me. It just really puts, a person, to me, in the right mindset. So it's regardless of what faith, your belief system, if you have no belief system other than that you're the greatest in the world, it makes sense. A lot of this just really breaks it down. And so I'm just going to continue right there. And the changing your surroundings goes great. Dana, you're going to have some good stuff when I get into the 3 L's in a second. You should go out each day expecting good things, anticipating God's blessings and favor. God has planned all your day for good, not evil. And I think this is such a powerful reminder. It's like you almost need to put this on an index card and carry it around. God has planned all your day for good, not evil. He didn't set up for you to have all these bad, negative things happen. Thanks for the love, guys. I love it. So, just knowing that, and knowing a lot of times when all these negative things are happening or seem to be happening, a lot of it's our perception. It's not about us. It's about whatever drama the other person is going through. And we're just the rock being kicked by them, or whatever you want to call it. We're the brunt of their ugliness because we're convenient. It's not about us. And sometimes that's hard to swallow, but when you look at it that way, it's like, I didn't do anything. This isn't about me. It's something going on in their life. It helps you reframe things a little bit. So I don't really see that happening in my life. You say, I've endured so much adversity. Maybe so, but if you will keep pressing forward, if you will keep believing, God says he'll take those negative experiences and turn them around, and he will use them to your advantage. Remember, we are all called overcomers. That means we're going to have obstacles to overcome. You can't have great victories without difficult battles. You can't have great victories without difficult battles. You don't get to be king of the mountain. Did you ever play King of the Mountain? Yeah, I'm from Iowa originally, so we had those big snow piles. King of the Mountain. You didn't just get king of the mountain without fighting and pushing and elbowing your way to the top and probably sinking in the snow and getting snow in your boot and being uncomfortable. You didn't get there it wasn't easy. You had to kind of have a little battle there, and that was the fun of it. I'm sure kids can't do that now because somebody would be crying and whining, and that's probably outlawed. But, that's how I kind of picture that, It takes a little struggle, a little oomph to get to the top. So remember, we're all called overcomers. We're going to have obstacles overcome. You can't, I think I'm repeating myself, you can't have great victories without difficult battles. You'll never have a great testimony without going through a few tests. You won't have a great testimony without going through a few tests. That's so true even as a business owner. That's how you grow as a business owner, having those difficult clients, those difficult conversations. As a manager, a supervisor at work, it's, again, you won't have a great testimony without going through a few tests. You've got those testy people in your life. The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows God has something great in store for you. The enemy always fights the hardest when he knows God has something great in store for you. If you've had unfair things happen to you, or people have robbed you, cheated you, Scripture says that God will bring you out with twice what you had before. I'm going to read this again because if you've got some clients that are late paying, not paying, this is awesome, great reminder. If you had unfair things happen to you, or people have robbed or cheated you, Scripture says that God will bring you out with twice what you had before. Isaiah 61:7. If you're struggling through tough times, start declaring, I'm coming out of this experience with twice the joy, twice the peace, twice the honor, twice the promotion. I'm coming out of this experience with twice the joy, twice the peace, twice the honor, twice the promotion. Every day when you get up, declare, this is going to be a day of victory in my life. I'm expecting God's unprecedented favor, promotion, favor, increase. They're all on the way. Now, one of the things to remember here, God could have chosen anybody for this time and place, but he chose you. He chose you. I love Joel Osteen. I'm glad, Dana, because sometimes I wonder, as much as I enjoy reading this, should it be part of this blab? So to know that, you enjoy hearing it, I just think it puts so many things we're going through. There's probably like half a dozen I was starring in there that just seem to fit my life this week, whether it's the late paying clients, just some of the negativity going on in the world. I think it's cool. I think it's really important. So again, I've got some open seats. Don't be shy. Jump on board. If you've got thoughts, comments, type them in the window. And you got anything you want to talk about, or should I just keep going? Just let me know. This one will probably also really get you thinking this morning. It piggybacks on everything Joel Osteen says. It's so much about us. Don't be the victim, be the victor. So how do you do that? And I wrote this one several years ago, I think now. I think it's been several years, maybe, I think it's been about 2. But it's really how to get on the road to success. You got to adopt the 3 L's. You got to love you, lose the excuses, and learn something new. Every day, you really, and this is, I want you to remember these today, the 3 L's. Are you doing the 3 L's? Because, no matter what your role, whether it's parent, business owner, employee, daughter, son, we all are super busy. We all are juggling a million things. But I want you to remember this. It only takes somebody about 7 to 10 seconds to take a look at you and sum up their opinion of you. Now, I know everybody's like, but that's not fair. No, it's not. But that's the way life is. That is just the way life is. They watch you walk in a room. They watch, depending on what your job is. It could even just be your website. They are summing up opinion of you just like that. They're looking at your body language. They're looking at how you dress. And, whether your hair is neat, your clothes are pressed. Now, don't be judging me because, this is the morning blab where we don't put on makeup and get all fancy. We're still waking up and enjoying getting in the right mindset. But, they really are looking to see, welcome, Pamela. They're forming my opinion based on that. So, again, now you got to stop sabotaging your efforts. And, again, adopt the 3 L's. When I say love you, that means making time each day for you. You got to fall back in love with yourself. Who are you? Where are you going? And how are you going to get there? It's time to purge your closet of anything that doesn't make you feel fabulous. Get rid of the ugly clothes. And it's funny, every woman, and the women on here will know what I'm talking about. We have our fat clothes. We have our clothes that make us feel ugly. Why do we even have them? Get rid of them. Get rid of the clothes that don't make you feel beautiful. Look in your refrigerator. Get rid of anything that attacks how you feel. Fall just started. We're in the 4th quarter. It's time to start thinking about seasonal affective disorder. If you got a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar, and I am a big sugar junkie, but Do you have foods that make you feel sluggish? Don't pack a lunch to take to work that's going to make you be in a coma, a carb or sugar coma in the afternoon or an hour after eating it. If you've got a stressful day, make sure your refrigerator's packed with things that fuel you, that will make you feel good, give you energy, some protein, some vitamins, a big leafy salad, and the good stuff. And as much as that pains me to say, get rid of the junk, because I'm a big junk person too. If you're a business owner, or even just, if you have an office, what does it look like? Are you surrounded by clutter? I'm going to try to pull up something. Somebody sent me last night on Facebook, and it was just so cute. They said, Janine, this reminds me of something you would say. Clutter is not just physical stuff. It's old ideas, toxic relationships, and bad habits. Clutter is anything that does not support your better self. And I'm just like, wow. Clutter can clutter up the brain. It can be, it can be even toxic and a health hazard if you're tripping over stuff, if it's attracting bugs. So clean up the clutter. Make sure, again, that clutter can just be mentally draining. Change your surroundings. And that's what Dana says, change your surroundings. Get rid of the clutter. Make it something that functions for you. If you're working at a table that's the wrong height for you, I'm tall. I need a chair that's, I can't sit in that little kindergarten chair on the floor. I don't know how people sit with their chair almost on the floor. Got to have a good chair, good lighting. That's all part of loving you and taking care of you. Exercise. I want to talk about exercise. That's part of loving you too. And I'm not saying join a fancy gym. You could just, now with YouTube, and I do have Planet Fitness, and I don't know why. I think I've been there twice this year. YouTube, Hulu. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you've got access to every type of workout video in the world. YouTube's got several that are just 10-minute snippets, and there's really no excuse. You don't need fancy anything. Put on a pair of shoes, go for a walk, grab your umbrella if you're living here, but get out and move. Get out and move. You owe it to yourself. When I go to Mass on Sunday and I see the people with the walker and the cane and they could barely sit without, they go to sit and the whole pew shakes, I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I need to get out there and do some stretching. I've never had to stretch until last couple of years, but it's a big eye opener. Welcome, Michael. So again, exercise is part of loving you. And again, it's not saying you're going to go run a 10K every day. It's just doing something that honors you, respects you. Remember, and I don't know where taking care of us has, and I'm sure it's a learned habit. It's something that we don't do. We take care of everybody else, but not us. So you really need to, again, take care of you. So I want you to really look at anything that doesn't make you feel good in your home and your surroundings. Get rid of it. Make it you. Make it personal. Clean out that refrigerator of all the crap that makes you feel blah when you eat it. Clear the clutter. Exercise. Those are all so important. And they don't take a lot of time. They don't take a lot of time. You owe it to you to love you. So the second L is lose the excuses. We are all good at that one at times. We make excuses. Oh, well, but, oh. So you know what? Stop playing the blame game. Don't blame the economy. Don't blame the kids. Don't blame the dog. I could blame Savannah all day long why I don't exercise. Well, I take her for a walk, and then if I try to do crunches, she jumps on me and wants to play. And excuses. They're all excuses. That's all they are. Now, remember, we got some open seats, so I'd love to hear your comments. If you're short on cash, look at your budget. It's amazing because, I live alone. Welcome, Suzanne. And I get lazy going to the grocery store, so I'll run and grab fast food or, order something. And then when I'm reviewing the bank statement, it's like, oh my gosh, what a waste of money. I just needed to make a couple hours, go to the commissary because I'm retired military, and do my grocery shopping. This is ridiculous what I've been spending. So look at your budget, rework your budget if you need to. And that's also your budget on time. As when I first started this morning, this blab, I was saying, I noticed with the new feature where you can get alerts of everybody that's on blab when they join a blab. I don't know how some people are getting any work accomplished. They live on it 24/7. I think they're already addicted to it. I work in silence, so I don't have it on. It's too much chatter, but I do every now and then see the ones I like, and I think it has a wonderful purpose. But schedule them in your day. Know what you need to get accomplished. If you need to, again, it's another time budget thing that I do with my students, or I recommend, is setting the timer. My client, Amy, she's got small children, and she will set the timer for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, a half hour, and it's amazing what you get done, especially when you're procrastinating. For me, it's procrastinating on doing my filing, and I'll set the timer for 30 minutes or even just cleaning my office or something, and it's amazing how much you get done in that 30 minutes, especially because you're focused with that 30 minutes. So manage your time. Rework your budget if you have to, but also part of this losing the excuses is learning to say no. Everybody makes demands on us, and at times we just need to say no. And no is a sentence. I don't know where, especially again, women, we have come up with having to give a reason. No. Everybody practice it together. No, I want to hear you shouting it. No. Learn to say no. It is so liberating. It is so liberating when you can say, no, can't do that. No, not available. No. Have your own boundaries. Respect boundaries, your own boundaries. That's part of, again, I think the loving you too, is having those personal boundaries that you don't let others invade. If you know you've got something you need to get done, no, it's okay to say no. People aren't going to, stop being your friend because you said, no, you can't, you're not available to do something. But it's about reducing your stress level. All of this, even the loving you, a lot of the, I say clean out the refrigerator, exercise, clean out the clutter, that's all reducing the stress. And it's loving your heart. Remember the episode where we all did the thing with the heart and the breathing? It goes back to loving your heart. So we're going to love you, lose the excuses today. And now the third L is learning something new. Every day you should learn something new. It's just part of being successful. It's part of keeping your brain working. It's amazing if you want to ward off illness, Alzheimer's, dementia, any of those. Yes, you may be predisposed through heredity for some of these, but make that exercise the brain, not only exercise the body, but the brain. And that is through learning something new. So again, guys, got some seats here, jump on board. It doesn't have to be a big investment. You may choose to work with a coach, which is wonderful, but you've got blabs you can jump on and learn something. You've got, raise your hand if you love Pinterest. I'm over on Pinterest. So, you've got Pinterest, you've got, again, YouTube. A lot of times your community college, your business center will have some free courses. Just going to the library and getting a book. Make time to learn something. Several years ago, I guess actually I should probably say decades ago, I would start every year with something new I wanted to learn, like in the kitchen. I love to bake. I don't like to cook. I like to bake. So one year it was perfecting all different kinds of breads. Another year it was nothing but cheesecakes. And then, but I had a theme for each year of something I wanted to master that seemed out of my norm. I didn't grow up having them homemade. And, it was fun. And I don't know why I stopped. Probably because I got too fat. I don't know. But, try to pick up a new hobby. When was the last time? Baking is nice. I find baking therapeutic. It is a stress reliever for me. I love to bake and give it away. And I guess that's part of why I've stopped so much, because I live alone now, so I don't have Marines to take it to. I don't have kids, kids' friends to send it home with. So I don't bake as much. But, to me, it is very therapeutic. So, again, figure out something new. Think about, when was the last time you did a craft or built something? If you're a guy and you're out in your tool shed, workbench, when was the last time you did something? Now, last year, I live in a neighborhood where, I guess it's been probably 2 years, I saw this pretty garden on Pinterest, and it was just old chairs like found on the side of the road, put in the backyard to hold plants and different yard items. Well, while walking Savannah in the morning, there's a chair here, there's a chair there. People started bringing me chairs. I had the most beautiful, I called it my Pinterest garden. It was beautiful. It looked at just like Pinterest, with pots overflowing, sitting on these old rickety chairs. Well, then one day I was walking, and we found, and I'm looking over here because I have two things that need redone. I have a end table, perfect condition. It's got a drawer. It just is a little ugly on the top. It needs some of that chalk paint is what's going to be done with it probably. But when I first looked at it, I have on a Pinterest board, somebody had decoupaged a table exactly like that. But I said, I'm probably going to do chalk paint with that one. Then one day, it is actually huge. It is a huge ottoman that's ripped. And I actually had to go back and get my car to drag it home. But I had found with Savannah, and she was giving me that look like, Mama, what are we doing? A Lane coffee table, solid wood coffee table last year. It was probably about this time. And my daughter didn't have a coffee table, but she had some leftover stain from a table she attempted to do, because she caught the bug on redoing something. So I took the stain, and the only thing wrong with the coffee table, it was solid wood, was it had two leaves that fold down. One of the gadgets, to brace it up was broke. And I redid that for her. So, that was therapeutic. It was fun. It was relearning something, how to, sand and stain. And again, to me, those type of things are therapeutic, but it's also fun to repurpose. So I'd love to hear what you do to love you, lose the excuses, and learn something new. And if you don't have a strategy, I really hope you have been taking a few little notes, or you come back and listen to this replay and focus on something. Really do make an effort, because these things will help you be more successful. They will help move you forward. They will help keep you in the right mindset. Welcome, Austin. And just keep moving forward, because that's what it's about. It's not, don't be that rock that gets the moss growing over it. Keep rolling forward and growing. Keep rolling forward and growing. So what else do we want to talk about? I'd love to hear your thoughts on, we talk about, decluttering, changing your environment. What are some other things you can do? Hey, Austin, we're talking about losing the excuses, loving you, and learning something new, my 3 L's for success this morning. And really not being a victim, being the victor, and remembering that, we're made to do great things. And that's just what we got to go out and do every morning. So, while I'm sipping more coffee, love to see you in the chat window or jump on board. Excellent comment, Austin. Because we now live in a world of plenty, we lost all these thinkings. I think that's true. I think we're a disposable economy. We just think nothing of, as I was saying, I've grabbed all this furniture off the side of the road and repurposing it, redecorating it, making it pretty again, because to me it's therapeutic, it's learning, it's growing. But I think we've become so disposable with things that we don't even think about it. We just kind of become very greedy in a way. Very me, 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 me. You know, it's not pleasant. We're consumer only. We consume, that's for sure. And, you know, and I think, and anybody can disagree with me. I welcome you, jump on board. But when you're the consumer, you're not giving back. And when you're not giving back, you're not sharing, you're not growing, you're not thinking, you're not being compassionate, you're not coming from the heart, you're not living part of your purpose either. You know, consuming is, you know, I was going to say consuming is what Miss Savannah does over here. She just eats her dog food and waits for me to whatever, but that's not true either, because she does give joy back. Savannah, I have some clients that come over and she is fabulous at helping them relax. She gives love. So she's not just a consumer. So I was wrong on that one. People just mental others for their own ego. People just mental others. What do you mean by that? But I think when you focus on, again, giving back, not just being the consumer, but being the giver, and you can't give if you're not taking care of yourself. So again, that's where that, some people just want the money. Yeah. Where again, loving you, setting those clear boundaries for your time, your energy, and people just teach others just for their own benefit. I agree with that. It's more about their ego than worrying about is the other person really learning, really applying, and needing what's being taught. If I understand that correctly, Austin, is that where you're going with that? Because sometimes, you know, even as a business owner, people don't need what we have. And part of that honesty is saying, you know what, you don't need this yet. Or, no, you need to go work with my friend over here or something over there. I'm not the right provider. Nothing from their heart nowadays. And how do we change that? How do we change getting back to the heart? I think it's important. Do you all think it's important to be, you know, I wouldn't say, you know, that term going around heart-centered, heartfelt. I think that's a little, I don't know, to me. I just think being a good person, having the right motive, and as Austin says, it's not about just success. You could be, you know, dirt poor, but be very successful at what you do and sharing your gifts. Now, again, I'd say that's kind of time to rein some of it in and back to loving you and being paid and not giving everything away. But, you know, we had a blab, gosh, it's probably 2 weeks now we've been on here about the not being shamed for not charging $1 million for whatever you're doing. And it's okay to be, you know, to charge a, you know, I don't want to say a, you know, in my industry, the coaching industry, there's people charging thousands and thousands an hour. And I've worked with coaches who say, oh, you immediately need to charge $5,000 for that program. Well, the people I like to work with don't have $5,000. Oh, it's never about the money. Yeah, it is. A lot of times it really is. I'm not, you know. Okay, Austin says, practice mindful breathing, learn to connect and with the heart through breathing. Yes, yes. And Austin, I don't know if you were here, we were talking about your episode talking about loving the heart through the exercise and the decluttering and just getting back to eating healthy, all those things. You've got to honor the heart, the mind. It's okay to make money. We all need to put food on the table. We just need to learn to be compassionate. Yes. And, you know, I think, and Dana says we should help without expecting anything in return, but you really do have to charge for your services. Yes. And I think, you know, and it's having the boundaries to know, okay, I can give one of the things, I do business and career coaching. Well, one of the things, I'm sitting here right now with a resume somebody handed me and said, will you look at it? Well, what did that mean? Of course I'll look at it. I work with this person very closely. Well, it's a hot mess. Of course I'm going to rewrite it. That's a high ticket item. I'm not charging the person. That's my gift. That will be my gift. So, okay, we got somebody joining. Well, they jumped on and then they jumped off before I could click to allow them in the seat. So, you know what, guys? Let me show y'all some love because you got some great comments. Remember, you can click on the little star to show some love for the comments you really like. You can click on the little arrow to, share a topic. Max, good morning. Good morning. So we've kind of shifted to a money talk, compassion, money, balancing. So I'd love to hear how you all balance when people want your services for free. What are you doing to still love you and kind of, sometimes you got to almost help them lose the excuses, but part of that losing the excuses was learning to say no. And then the third one was learning something new, which could be learning to say no today. You need to build your profile. Who is that? Are you telling somebody to build their profile? Let's keep it clean and nice, guys. It's a little early to be. So, okay. So compassion, how are we going to get back to compassion? My psych class this past week, one of the questions was aggression on television. Does television aggression and violence, what we see on TV affect the actual violence? Research says, no, it's just a small contributor. But, depending on what viewpoint you follow, I do think a lot of what we see is learned behavior. It's passed down from generation to generation. Austin says, just learn to be human being again. You practice mindful living, then we can move forward together. And I think that is so powerful, Austin, and so important, is to just be aware. Are you being a nice person? Are you being a nice person? Are you being a good person? And a lot of that goes back to, again, having the energy to do that by exercising, your breathing. We did that breathing exercise with Austin. It was a couple Fridays ago, so look for it. And I've since done that, and some other people have done it and told me about they're really focusing on that again. Good morning, Carlos. Thank you for joining us. We've got lots of people. Remember, you can tell the little bird and it'll shout it out that we're here sharing some great stuff. But the one thing I really want you to walk away with this morning is to stop sabotaging your efforts. Don't let others sabotage you either. You have, I don't really like that word power, but you can make that mindful decision, the conscious decision to live the life that you want to live, which I hope is a peaceful life, a good life, and stop being the victim, stop being the one being kicked around, and that does require, again, some realizing it's not always about you, it's about whatever they've got going on. It's not your, what's that one? It's not my circus, not my monkey, or something like that. But really taking, again, that time, it's part of that. I'm looking over here at the comments. Respecting you, loving you, respecting you and loving you enough to respect your surroundings, as we first started talking about, decluttering, eating healthy, respecting your body. It's been a gift. And I'm guilty of that too, because I love my sugar, but really also paying attention how the sugar, the carbs, what's in your refrigerator and your cupboards, how they impact your mindset, your afternoon slump. We've got some find your inner peace through breathing, and you will find calmness within yourself. Then joy will come and happiness will follow. Then compassion will be with you spontaneously. And this is how nature. We got one. Tell us how motivation is important in your life. Welcome, Linda. So I would love to hear how motivation is important in your life. If I'm not motivated, self-motivated, I'm thinking I'm not getting anything accomplished. I'm just, and I have a very busy day. I juggle a lot. I'm a serial business owner, serial entrepreneur. I run 2 different businesses, complete opposite businesses. I'm a college professor for 4 different universities. So I have, my day starts early and it ends late. So to me, I have to be self-motivated to wake up. I choose to be positive. I choose to try to find the good in something. You can only motivate yourself. If you need someone to motivate you, then you will fail. Oh, that's powerful. Welcome, Eileen. Max says, I go to bed motivated, wake up motivated. I think that's important too. And it is in our control, within our power. Again, this show, Morning Moto, is, if you've got a bad day or, hopefully you're just waking up if you're on my time zone here. But if you're looking at your day planner and you're not so thrilled, this is the place to say, you know what? Hey, Kathleen, welcome. I've got these things going on today and I really need a dose of reality check, getting in the right mindset so I can be of service to others, so I can go out and do good things. And yes, we need to motivate ourselves, and part of that may be again, it goes back to Dana saying your surroundings and being around like-minded people, knowing, okay, I'm going to go to, maybe you got to go to an office where you're just surrounded by some negative Nellies and Debbie Downers. And this is going to be the place where you get inspired, you get in the right mindset to go off and be around those people and remind yourself, this is how I choose to be. I choose to be positive. I choose to be good, of service for others and not mean and hateful. So, Linda, good morning. I haven't been to bed yet. Late work night. Ouch. I am not a night owl. I am a morning person. Austin says, learn to balance your life, journey, work, play, and rest, and the key to your happiness and success will follow. Excellent, Austin. That's really what we've been going over this morning with the 3 L's. You've got to love you. You've got to lose those excuses. It's all about bringing in that balance, learning to say no, and learning something. I think it's part of the fun is learning something every day. Really thinking about, what can I learn today? And it might not be something earth-shattering. It might just be a tidbit, a new piece of something. What do we got here? We've got, it helps when you have someone to keep you accountable, which then creates motivation. I think that's a great comment. Welcome, Gratitude Coach. Sometimes especially when we live alone or we're a solopreneur and we work from home, live alone, it can be easy, very easy to get sucked into some drama on Facebook or something happens, you get a negative phone call, a little something throws you off your game, and you can get a little stuck in there. You can have a little pity party, and I'm not big on pity parties. My clients know that they can call. We will have a pity party, but we will put a time frame on that pity party. And when the time frame's over, we're going to dust ourselves off, and we are going to flip the switch and move forward with a new positive plan of action. And, it's a couple of weeks, I think it's last week, the reading was talking about the doors closing. The 2 sets of doors, go through one, the door's got to fully close before you can step through that second door. So Austin says, that's why I love to share my mindfulness meditation with everyone. Most people are confused with so many advices. And that's a great point. There are so many shiny objects. Everybody's saying, do this, do that. You need to know what works for you. And yes, part of learning is learning what works for you. Max says, thanks, but I don't do pity parties. I don't let life get me to that point. And that's fabulous, because you've probably had somebody teach you that. Sometimes, again, a lot of the behaviors people have are carried over from watching their parents, their grandparents, their great-grandparents, how they respond to situations. A lot of it is learned behaviors, or unfortunately learned behaviors from watching reality TV shows. And one of my students said, when did it become appropriate to flip a table at a restaurant? Now all of a sudden you see that, it started with one of the Real Housewives, and now all of them do it, and people think being rude and loud and boisterous in a restaurant or a store is appropriate. When did, but it's learned behaviors. You see it on TV enough times and you begin to think, well, gee, I must be missing out on something. Everybody's acting like that. I need to act like that. So, sometimes you do have to even catch yourself on what you're saying and think about, well, what just came out of my mouth? Did I'm not from the South. I'm from the Midwest. And I was stationed here in North Carolina 3 different times over my 20-year military career. And then I retired here in 2002. And sometimes I'll say something and it is total Southern girl. And I'll be like, oh my God, did that just come out of my mouth? Did I really just say y'all or fixin'? Or, one of those sayings that is very Southern, and it's just kind of like, I hear it and it's like, oh my gosh, yonder. The key to success is to follow your journey and have a clear idea what you want to achieve, then stick with it. People give up too easily and keep moving on from one goal to another. In the end, nothing is achieved. Oh my God, that is so, so true, Austin. That is so, I see that with clients. Sometimes people will hire me, and I've got clients that have stayed with me since I started my business, and they are doing fabulous things. I've had a few that just almost like check in, and because I don't have a magic wand, looking for something, magic wand or fairy dust, they move on to the next coach or to the next thing. Or with businesses, oh my gosh, I've had, I remember sitting down one time with some clients. We were at a mastermind talking about somebody who had, I think since we'd known her, had like 7 different direct sales businesses. And so much of that. And if you don't know what your journey is, take time to try to figure it out. And I think it's okay to say that, welcome, Erica, your journey will change. As we are living longer, my grandma passed at 101, and we do certain things. Like I had my 20-year military career. That was my journey then. I got out, I retired at age 38. I knew I wanted to become a therapist. That was that next journey. Then I decided, what, this isn't quite still what I feel, where I feel I need to be right now. So I became a coach. But it's give yourself permission to reinvent yourself. Everything you are doing is part of your journey to be who you're supposed to be. There's never, sometimes people say, oh, I made a mistake. No, you didn't make a mistake. It's all lessons learned. It's all, thanks for the love, guys. It's all part of becoming a better you. And things happen in life that you never could have imagined. You may have had a death of a child, a grandchild, something so profound that has impacted you. Or maybe, you're a victim of domestic violence and you've kept it kind of closed off from people for decades. And then you're finally at a healing point and ready to share your story to help empower others. That's okay. It's you. But make sure, as Austin says, stick with something. Don't just float and say, we see it with students going to college. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, next week I'm changing my major to this. And they've never graduated, and they've been in college for like 10, 12 years and not done anything. Austin says, once you achieve your goals, then you will have a strong platform to do all your other goals. Yes, I agree with that. I hope everyone else does. Welcome, David. goal setting is very important. You know, I keep saying, if you don't have a goal, then how do you know what you're going to get accomplished? How do you know? Okay, Jordan, welcome. How do you know? You know, you got to have some benchmarks. Don't just meander. Hey, Jordan, good morning. Okay, I am not hearing Jordan. Let me check to make sure I've got my sound up. Jordan, I'm not hearing you. Okay, Jordan, we're still not hearing you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Okay.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning. What time is it there?
It's almost 7 o'clock, 6:52.
So
I see a comment here that a goal is a compass for your mindset. I think that is a beautiful comment. I don't think I've seen it put so eloquently.
Okay.
A goal is a compass for your mindset.
I like that.
Very true. So we've been, Jordan, just talking about really loving ourselves, setting good boundaries, clearing out all the junk, respecting our bodies and our minds, losing the excuses so we can be successful, and then learning things, learning something new.
Well, let's learn something new. Let's do it.
Max is our comedian this morning. Jordan must do Verizon commercials. Can you hear me now?
Am I cutting in and out?
So where are you at, Jordan?
You can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
You said, sorry, bad joke. Yes, I am. Well, let's say it's almost 6 o'clock, and I'm in Nebraska.
Austin says, people always ask me, how did I achieve being so mindful? It is simple. Practice your breathing 5 minutes every day, and you'll be mindful naturally.
I like that.
I want to say the breathing exercise with Austin was on maybe our September 18th episode. So if you go back to the replay, I think it was September 18th or maybe September 11th. I don't remember if we were on that long ago. We're fairly new still. I think we're in our third week. I think we're in our third week. Austin it was a long replay. It's like an hour and a half. And at about the last 30 minutes, Austin was on with the breathing exercise, and it was fabulous, fabulous. Let's see. Practice 4-7-8 breaths. Breathing's important, and knowing your own, paying attention to your heart. What is your heart telling you? Very, very important.
Me personally, or?
And JC says, I practice endless breath, I hope, for a long time. I agree with that one. We want to be breathing forever for a very, very long time.
Well, let's see.
Tell us what are the most important things we must do. Must do for what? The breathing, the goal setting. Can you be a little bit more specific? We've covered so many topics this morning. Austin's our breathing expert here.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
How do I pronounce your name? I really did not want to screw it up.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you very well.
How do you pronounce your name?
Oh, how do you pronounce my name? It's Janine.
Yes.
Janine.
Janine. Okay, well, Janine.
And so we've got the link for Dr. Wells' breathing exercise. Thanks for sharing that. And we are about out of time, so I just want to wrap it up real quick because we keep this right at an hour. That's part of my boundary setting. I know I'll hear people say they've been on Blabs and went on and on and on. And for me, I try to keep this right at an hour. We are here weekdays at 6 a.m. I'm on the East Coast, North Carolina, in the United States. So 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And then I go out and do my walking with Miss Savannah. So today we really, we're talking about our passage with Joel Osteen on
how does Joel get that smile every day?
You choose to smile. You choose, you have a choice every day to wake up and be a miserable, grumpy person, or to wake up and be a gift to others, to be pleasant. It's a mindful choice. It's a choice. And, the beauty is we have choices. And I remember one of the quotes from this morning was, you can't have great victories without difficult battles. So, yes, you may ask a question, be advertised. You can either type it or jump in the seat here. So remember that if you're having some challenges today, that the victory is in the challenge. I use the analogy of playing King on the Mountain with a snow pile growing up. And, you got to kind of, everybody wants to be king of the mountain, but you have to kind of elbow your way and fight your way to get to the top. Good morning, David.
Good morning. There was one saying from Joel, Randy Posh. He had a saying, and he said, brick walls, they're not there to keep you out. They're there to show you how badly you want them enough.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it was a wonderful quote, and I think about it every single day. So
I like that. Very powerful. Good morning, David.
Morning, Janan. How are you?
I am doing great.
Good. I'm over here just outside Dublin in Ireland.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
I'm in Ireland.
It sounds a little unsynced, but he's there. I can hear him.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm in Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
That might be the problem.
No, it's not the problem. I think you're... Jeanette, I have a question. I work for myself in business, right? And I've got a lot going on in my personal life at the moment. And I'm having a lot of trouble separating my emotion and my business. And being able to focus on business. What advice would you give for that?
I'm sorry, you broke up. Separating emotion from business?
Yeah.
What are you trying to separate your emotion when it comes to your business?
Jordan, I'm not. What I'm trying.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to help Janine here.
Is he stoned?
No.
David, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Separating emotion from business. Was that the question? If you could type in the chat window, that would be great. Okay, I'm sorry.
Or
I think separating emotion from business is very difficult, and the first step is realizing that emotion is involved, and having good business systems and business practices will help you separate the emotion. But the first part is knowing, you've got some emotion involved, and you have to kind of almost step back and say, this is business. And that's where the good contracts, the practices, the principles, whatever, depending on your business, knowing, like I do coaching. I could give it away for free all day long and fall for every sob story. But as Austin says, I have to put food on the table and pay my bills. So I need to know, and kind of my walk-away point. How much can I give away for free? At what point do I say, how do you, if you have a lot going on in your personal life, how do you focus 9 to 5? You know, that takes a lot of practice. That's really compartmentalizing, I think, and knowing, setting boundaries with the family, the friends, the personal life part, addressing those things and knowing, okay, I've taken care of what I can take care of with this. Now I'm going into work mode and only dire emergencies. It's really those personal boundaries, and it's just part of that developing professionalism. I'm welcome to other ideas, you know, type in the chat window or jump in the seat to help David with this. It's hard. It's hard, and it's really evaluating that circle of influence, who's jumping in. Austin says you need to focus one thing at a time. Once you take care of one thing, then move on to the next. Try not to be multitasking. I agree. Multitasking just doesn't work. And if there's something gnawing at you, eating at you, you need to just stop, address it the best that you can, and so that you free up that clutter in your brain, all that chitter chatter going on, and then be able to move on to focus on the next thing, is my suggestion with that.
You'll get rid of that chest, that anxiety, that everything. It'll go away. That pressure.
And remember, you know, we can't control everything. Unfortunately, we don't get to control everything. But if you can just, you know, and it's almost prioritizing even. We all have a zillion things going on. So it's making that hot list. Which are the hottest things that need to be put out? What fires need to be put out today? Which are the most critical? And make maybe 3 or 6. Do them first, address them first. If they're difficult conversations, you know, making appointments, whatever. And if there's something that you can delegate to a virtual assistant or someone on your team. If there's something you don't want to do, you just don't like to do, delegate those also. I think that's the beauty of having a team, is let other people who are the experts at certain things take care of those things so you don't have to deal with them. I hope that helped, David. And if not, we can chat about it again tomorrow morning, because it is time for me to jump off here. But I want you all to have a great day. Austin says, we want to control everything. Most of the things we desire are not important. If we take a few steps down, we can see clear. Greed, we want everything. Understanding the value, is it a extrinsic or intrinsic something? You know, lots of good stuff today, guys. I'm glad. I'm very appreciative all of you were on here with me this morning. I've gotten to run.
Thank you.
And get my day going. Part of my 3 L's is respecting the boundaries I've got for me, because my day is going to be one of those where it's nonstop until about 9 o'clock tonight.
Oh, wow.
Okay, somebody says, I think all these principles are good for business, but you need to transfer your private life and pass to the action. I'm not sure what you mean. I think they're applicable even in private life. You need to still be able to have boundaries, or people, your family, friends, children. I've got grown children, and I'm sorry, they will call me knowing I work from home, and it's like, guys, I'm working. And they get a little testy at times that I can't drop what I'm doing to go see them, talk with them, but it is some personal boundaries.
I'm not related, but yes, been there. I'm that kid. So at 23, still call mom, and she's, I'm working. Please, just talk to me.
So I think it's for both.
Yes.
But guys, we could probably stay here all day blabbing, but I've got to run.
And
so again, I hope you have a great day. Go out and do positive things. Have a positive mindset. Remember to love you. Love yourself. Drop the excuses. Lose the excuses. And I challenge you to learn something new today. Go out and learn something new.
Take off your shoes.
Again, we'll be back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern time here in the United States. Everyone have a very blessed day. Bye-bye.